A new year is here and happy 2026. And with that comes setting new goals. Hello, I'm Catrice Nolan. People are getting into their 2026 resolutions. A Pew Research survey from 2024 found 3 in 10 Americans made at least one resolution for the new year. After a month, 1 out of 8 people say they didn't keep up with any of their goals. Health is a popular one. 4 out of every 5 people had it as their top resolutions. In fact, the most popular resolution for 2026 is to exercise more. That's according to a YouGov poll. That's followed by being happy, eating healthier, saving more money, and improving their physical health. Other resolutions rounding out the top 10 list: losing weight, improving their mental health, learning something new, spending more time with family, and praying more. We know reaching those goals is often easier said than done. Sydney Walker spoke with a doctor about how to approach the new year.
New year, new you.
You have to think about it as building blocks toward a goal, not trying to build Rome in a day.
Dr. John Myers with Baylor Scott & White,
Because we're just coming out of a season where it's really hard to have any healthy habits.
points to the holidays for resolutions.
All of the holidays are lined up: Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. They all revolve around food. Most people come through the holidays and they're just ready to start over.
For goal setters, Myers encourages thinking about things long term.
I think a lot of people come out very, very strong, but they don't necessarily think about sustainability throughout the year.
Try and make it easier on yourself.
You want to make sure that you're trying to lower your obstacles as much as possible. So if you join a gym and it's 30 minutes away from your house, probably not going to go there very often.
Myers said one of the mistakes that he sees is going too extreme.
The reality is that anything that's extremely strict, the data shows we just don't stick with, and we end up doing well for a little while, but then when we fall off really hard, we crash.
You don't have to cut all carbs. Try cutting down eating out. Or instead of a 90-minute gym sesh, take a walk.
Make them measurable, make them achievable.
But overall, take care of you.
Everybody's thinking about diet and exercise, but are they thinking about their sleep? Are they getting good quality sleep? Are they on their cell phone late at night, not falling asleep, just doom scrolling? How's their emotional health? Is their anxiety under control? Is their depression under control? Just remember that we're all human. We all make mistakes. We all fall off the wagon.
Gyms often see a spike in customers in the new year and then that drop when people start to ditch their resolutions. Faith Zohowski has tips on how to keep those fitness goals going throughout the entire year.
Stepping into the new year, owner at GameFit HQ Gym in downtown Toledo says he sees a lot of people coming in with fitness goals. Here's what he says you can do to stay motivated in the new year.
People like to, kind of envision themselves as like a new year, new me, and we definitely support that.
At GameFit HQ, Nick Tomasello sees the same thing happen every first week of January.
There's different events throughout the year that kind of cause spikes in gym attendance and new memberships. The new year is probably right at the top of that list.
And sees the same thing as the year goes on.
We'll see drop off, kind of week after week, few less people come.
But says there are ways to stay on track as you flip the calendar.
Maybe reminders around the house, a logbook, a diary, things like that, where you can kind of keep yourself reminded of the things that put you in the place that you wanted to improve your fitness in the first place.
Tomasello recommends starting with a 30 to 40 minute full body workout to start a routine, or talk to a trainer or doctor to get suggestions. Except if your goal is to lose weight or be more healthy, you can work your way out of a bad diet. Emma Montgomery, a registered dietitian at ProMedica, suggests starting with small goals.
Maybe it's that you want more protein, so you're going to have a protein snack each day. Just to try and add some good nutrients in is a more attainable way to do it than just overhauling your whole diet.
She says a sweet treat here and there doesn't harm a diet, and it's all about moderation.
Sometimes if you do restrict too much, then you end up overdoing it the next day. Allowing that little sweet, but also supporting your diet throughout the day with enough protein and fiber, so then you're feeling full and satisfied by those meals.
A lot of people also do dry January to start off the year for those considering giving up alcohol for a month as their resolution. There's new research that shows it could bring some health benefits. A review of 16 studies on dry January found that even a short pause in drinking alcohol can lead to better physical and psychological health. Those who do dry January have reported a better mood and sleep, weight loss, and low blood sugar and blood pressure. There's also something known as damp January. That's where you reduce how much you drink rather than ditch it for the whole month altogether. Dry January started in 2013 as a charities challenge. In 2025, 21% of adults in the U.S. said they plan to participate. For many, getting your finances in order may be the goal you set for 2026, especially after spending money during the holidays. Abby Ham spoke to a finance expert and has some advice.
Obviously, the start of the year is a good time to start fresh on a lot of things.
Yeah.
Why so for finances?
So January is such a good time because it's that reset, right? We talk about some people do resolutions, some people just look at January as that kind of reset time. So we're going to talk about how it's great to set clear goals at the beginning of the year that can kind of set the tone for the whole year ahead, right? So when you set clear financial goals early on, you're giving yourself a plan that can boost your confidence, even improve your well-being. So we're talking about fiscally fit, we're talking about physically fit, emotionally fit, mentally fit, right? A recent Better Money Habits survey found that 33% of Gen Z feel overwhelmed by their financial goals. However, 90% of those, when they're stressed, are actually more likely to act, which is really good. That's very positive. It's trending up. Checking account balances, making a budget are healthy coping mechanisms as we come out of this crazy, hectic holiday season. And being proactive and setting objectives now can help ease some of that stress, put you on track for a stronger, more fiscally fit year.
I love it. Okay, so what areas should people focus on when it comes to their finances?
You know, saving is really always a good place to start, but the goals really depend on what it is you're aiming for. So are you looking at a short-term goal like saving for a vacation or something like that? Long-term goal, are we looking at paying off our mortgage or saving to buy a home? So it really is going to depend on what you're looking at to solve for. If you have debt, that is a great place to start. Really good place. Understanding your debt situation first can change the trajectory and can help you create a plan that actually feels achievable.
Absolutely. Well, of course, the holidays are expensive this year. The tariffs, everything feels more expensive.
Everything.
Everybody's spending a fortune on everything. So how do we get back on track with saving in January?
Holidays definitely take a toll. I think 2025 has taken a toll on us. So January is the perfect time to reset. The hardest part of saving is just getting started. I mean, think about when we're starting a new workout plan or starting a new diet plan, just like pulling the trigger and getting started is always the hardest part. So first, figure out where all your money is going or where it went this holiday season.
Where it went, as the case may be.
Yes, track it all. So every coffee, every bill, every Chick-fil-A run, everything. Track every single thing. It's a real gut check moment when you write down every single thing that you spent every single penny on. Use whatever works for you. Pen and paper, an app, or a spreadsheet, whatever works for you and your style. And dedicate time each week, even if it's only 15 minutes, to sit down and just take an accountability moment for your finances.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because you can get out of control spending and you're just like, and you don't even know what you bought.
Well, yeah, the thing on your phone now, it's like, feels like free money. It's terrible.
I know, the wallet.
Yes,
you don't even have to like put in a PIN code.
I know.
Some quick tools she recommended to help you get started: budget apps and calculators, professional guidance from a financial advisor or a local banker, and goal-setting worksheets to keep you on track. The second Friday in January is known as Quitter's Day. That's when people tend to give up on their resolutions. Coming up after the break, an expert shares how to set resolutions that actually stick. Millions of people set resolutions at the start of the year, and by mid-January, many have already given up. Our station in Denver spoke with an expert about how to set resolutions that actually work and why they still matter.
Talk to us first about why New Year's resolutions are still important. They are important because they allow you this time to kind of reflect back on the year and say, okay, this is what has gone well, or maybe has not gone well. And then it allows you to kind of keep things moving forward. That motivation to say, okay, what do I want to do differently? It usually is to better yourself. It's usually around health and wealth and family. And so it's important because it is that pause to say, wait, before you just go right over to the new year, let's reflect back on this last year. And that's really important.
Okay. They're important, but why do so many of us fail at this?
Oh, yes. We've got a day for it, right? Quitter's Day. I'm sure we'll do a segment on it, and it's January 13th. Like, there's a date. Okay, so why? Because we set these gigantic, lofty goals. And we don't appreciate and understand, like, in order to, whatever it is, like, get the new job or lose the weight or go to the gym more, you've got to have all these little baby micro steps.
Give me an example of, like, what's the lofty goal that we typically set and how you would reframe that.
Yes, like, I'm going to be healthier in the new year. What does that mean, right? So that's way too big. That goal is doomed for failure. However, if you go, okay, I do want to be healthy in the new year. Let me go down here. Let me make a small goal, almost super easy goal. I will move my body 4 times a week for 20 straight minutes, right? Like, that's the kind of goal you can achieve. That's the kind of goal you can measure too. So if you're 4 days in on January 4th and you go, oh wait, I haven't gotten off the couch in 4 days, right? It's time for me to readjust this goal. So we don't want to, you can in your mind think, well, ultimately I want to be healthier. I want to get a new job. I want to yell at my kids less. In order to say, yell at your kids less.
All right, that's turning into therapy.
Yes. Now I got to slip a little parenting thing in. But in order to do that, you can't just say, like, tomorrow I'm just going to stop yelling. Right? And what's actually easier, let me just say this, is people often say that I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop smoking. I'm going to stop yelling. We don't do that great at just stop. We do better at adding. It's called habit stacking. So instead of saying, I'm going to yell at my kids less, what you want to maybe say is, okay, when I'm driving my kids to school or I'm making them breakfast, I'm going to stop and take 3 deep breaths. I'm going to remember what my goal is. I'm going to have a mantra that I read and I'm going to put it on the kitchen cabinet, whatever it is. It's easier to add than it is to subtract when it comes to human beings and change.
So instead of saying, I'm going to stop eating McDonald's.
Yes.
Why would I ever say that?
I'm going to eat a little bit more leafy greens.
Why would I ever say that to begin with? That's not my goal.
Just saying in general.
Right.
So what else can we do to make sure that our resolutions stick?
So set the goal small. Acknowledge that failure actually is part of progression. Like, so you are going to fail. So if what happens too is, like, you go to McDonald's, right? And then people just feel like they give up. I give up, whatever, look at me. It's already day 6. I already went to McDonald's. Like, I'm terrible at this. Don't give up. Say, oh, this is part of the process. I took a step back. Let me figure out how to take 2 steps forward. So, and you just want an accountability partner helps a lot. So checking in regularly about how you're doing, especially with somebody else, really kind of increases the odds you're going to succeed.
A lot of the times we want our resolutions to become habits, that stick with us. How long does it take to really form a habit? And, how do we make sure that consistency remains key?
Yes. Well, I'm very research oriented, and this comes up every year. I've seen everywhere from 14 to 40 days. So I'm not sticking to one because I see some research that says 14 days and some that says it takes 40. So let's just say a month-ish. Right. And so, and again, it matters. If you are somebody who's older, you've been on this planet for many generations, right? And then all of a sudden you're going to try to stop doing something. You got to give yourself some grace. That's different if you're 21 than you're 51 or 71. It does matter in a sense of how long have you been doing this, but we can sort of change and we can better ourselves. We just have to reframe what it means to be successful, right? If my goal was to move 4 times in the first week, but I moved 3 times, I still have to celebrate that. And I think we skip that too. We skip celebrating the small steps. You have to do that.
Make sure you celebrate all of your wins in 2026, and good luck to whatever goals you set for this year. I'm Catrice Nolan. We'll see you next time.